Ladies and gentlemen, on November 11th we will celebrate Veterans Day in this free country of ours. We remain free thanks to the men and women serving in our armed forces. During this entire weekend of the Brevard Association of Human Services Health Fair and tonight's Space Coast Humanitarian Awards, we would like to recognize and honor the courage, strength, and humanitarian contributions of all our veterans who have given so much of themselves for these United States of America. Tonight we have a special guest with us, a U.S. veteran and a true hometown hero from just down the road in Satellite Beach. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Russ Marek. It was Friday, September the 16th, 2005, and U.S. Army Staff Sergeant Russ Marek was just 8 days away from coming home to Satellite Beach for his 2-week R&R break. He was leading his team as a tank commander on a road south of Baghdad. Russ doesn't remember anything from that night. His family and his doctor agree that's a blessing. When an Iraqi insurgent's bomb tore through the bottom of his tank, 2 of the 4 soldiers inside were killed. Marek suffered a traumatic brain injury and was burned so severely on 20% of his body that he lost muscle on his right ear. He also lost his right leg below the knee and his right arm below the elbow. He never lost his fighting spirit. It's hard work to do all this, Russ says, when asked about his 5-year recovery that includes 3 hours of physical and occupational therapy each weekday, followed by 2 hours of exercise with his family every afternoon. There's no rest on the weekends. His twin brother Todd and younger brother Adam helped their parents with Russ's rehabilitation. I knew he was tough, but not this tough, says his dad, local mortgage broker Paul Marek. For 1 year after the attack, VA healthcare facilities were home as Russ underwent multiple skin grafts and surgeries, plus learned to use a prosthetic arm and leg. He's back home in Satellite Beach, living with his parents, and is now walking, a feat which his doctors say is a miracle of the human spirit. You see, Russ would just not quit. The first thing Russ remembers after the accident is being at the Tampa VA hospital. The brain injury impacted his short-term memory. He knows he received the Purple Heart, the medal his dad calls the one no soldier wants to earn, and Russ earned it the hard way. He also was awarded the Combat Action Medal and a Bronze Star for bravery. His dad made sure every medal was awarded only when Russ was well enough to participate in the ceremony. It's just one more way that he and his wife Rose have become advocates for their son. I used to joke with the nurses at the Tampa VA hospital that when we were through, I was going to become a nurse, said Rose, who lived in Tampa to be with Russ every day at the hospital during his year-long stay. I told them I learned so much that all I would need to do was take the test. Russ has that same sense of humor, joking about his older twin brother Todd, who he says is 2 minutes older than me. He even smiles when talking about his very obvious missing right ear, which he says fools people because they think I can't hear them, and actually I hear better out of this ear than my left one. The laughs can just as quickly turn to brief, unexpected tears. Russ graduated from Satellite Beach High and took classes at Brevard Community College before joining the Army and going off to serve in Kosovo and Germany, and then 2 tours of duty in Iraq. He'd been promoted to Staff Sergeant just 14 days before that fateful mission. His immediate goal is to walk unassisted. Long term, he wants to go back to college and work. His goal is to live alone again. He's doing well now, and he's very positive, says his dad. One day, he'll be completely independent again. There's no stopping Russ. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Russ Marek and family, our homegrown Space Coast humanitarian hero and recipient of the 2010 Space Coast Humanitarian Special Award of Recognition. 2009, the Jess Parish Medical Foundation recognized Pat Manning with a Lifetime Achievement Award, recognizing her for a lifetime of achievements in making positive differences within the community. Since retiring from teaching, Pat has diverted her energy and passion to educating the community. She has also been instrumental in the development of the planned health village at Main Street Parish Medical Center project, a one-of-a-kind initiative that brings healthy aging resources and services together. Pat is now very active in support of the Brevard County Alzheimer's Association, the Brevard Retirement Association, and the Doctors Goodwill Foundation. Dr. Patricia Manning, educator, leader, humanitarian for the Space Coast. Volunteering and humanitarianism is truly a family affair within the Parvis family. The patriarch of this medically talented clan, Dr. Dirk Parvis of HMA's Sebastian River Medical Center, has been a medical missionary leader for 2 decades and sets the bar incredibly high for family involvement and teamwork. Dirk's talented children, ophthalmologist Britt, University of Miami medical student Chad, nurse Nikki, university student Candace, and high school student Matt, regularly either mission with their father Dirk or travel by themselves to aid the devastated people of Haiti. Of the many significant humanitarian works performed by the Parvis family, perhaps the most important has been the creation of the Haiti Clinic, a medical support center built for the impoverished people of the slums of Port-au-Prince. The motto of the Haiti Clinic is "The Power of Many," and the Parvis family truly exemplify those words. A recent bump in donations resulting from the January earthquakes has allowed for a full-time doctor and 2 nurses to be employed. Dirk and a regular stream of medical personnel laden with supplies make regular trips to the clinic and are able to see over 600 patients in a weekend. This sustaining humanitarian facility, created and work performed by the Parvis family, will have a profound effect on families in Haiti now and into the future. The Dirk Parvis family and the Haiti Clinic, the power of many. In 1860, Florence Nightingale, one of the world's most well-known nurses, said, "God called me in the morning and asked me, would I do good for him without reputation?" This next group of nurses and doctors epitomize those Florence Nightingale words, as they have been quietly giving of themselves year after year without any recognition, and they live by those humble humanitarian words from all those years ago. Nurses Ruth Binkley, Pat DeFilippo, Sue Perez, and orthopedic surgeon Dr. Lawrence Robinson have been traveling for years with Operation Rainbow, which is an organization that provides free orthopedic and plastic surgery to children in developing countries. Last fall in Ecuador, the team helped to change a young girl's life after she walked for miles on her knees to get life-changing help from the Brevardians. The team performed surgery on the pre-teen's knee tendons, and now she leads a much different life, no longer walking on her knees. Team coordinator and nurse Sue Perez's life has also been changed for the good by her many mission experiences. Her feelings are best explained by her simple, heartfelt words. "What I give to the kids is nothing compared to what the kids give to me. I absolutely love doing this." Nurse Ruth Binkley's experience has also been incredibly satisfying, as she has found more generosity right here in Brevard. In 2000, Ruth asked her church members to simply pray for her while on her mission trip, but they responded by taking a special offering and have since helped to provide funding for all of Ruth's mission trips. Cape Canaveral Hospital nurse Pat DeFilippo has been on every Operation Rainbow mission trip from Brevard, running the operating rooms and gathering donations of medical supplies for the expeditions. "We could not do what we do without Pat," says Sue Perez. Dr. Lawrence Robinson's family has a long tradition of volunteering, as his parents and grandparents spent countless hours donating their time to charities. Dr. Jane Robinson, Larry's wife, has provided her expertise during Operation Rainbow trips and has also given much needed medical care during missions to Trinidad. Dr. Robinson has performed hundreds of surgeries to help the needy, and he says, "The satisfaction we get from helping these people who would otherwise not get treatment, and the gratitude from these families is so uplifting." Ruth Binkley, Pat DeFilippo, Sue Perez, and Dr. Lawrence Robinson, Space Coast humanitarians on a mission. Dr. Sam Del Rio of the HMA-owned Wusthof Health System took his first medical mission trip to Mexico while he was in medical school. Being a translator and assisting with general surgery cases in that first mission trip whetted his appetite for more medical missionary work. While in Cleveland completing his MD and PhD studies, Sam and his wife volunteered to counsel youths from an inner-city Spanish church. We grew the youth group from 6 to 50 in our 4 years of service by taking the kids on camping trips, which most of them had never done before, said Dr. Sam. Recently, Sam has traveled twice to Managua, Nicaragua, as part of the Calvary Chapel Merritt Islands Mission Program, where he has helped develop the OB/GYN staff and has also assisted at the Children's Cancer Hospital, ministering to the young patients and their families. He regrets not having more time to do more for the people, as that is the finite resource that is most scarce. "The Lord has blessed me with certain talents, and I feel that it is my duty to use these talents to help others less fortunate." Dr. Sam Del Rio, Space Coast humanitarian and medical missionary. You know the pleasant feeling that you get when you go to a hospital and walk in the front door and see a smiling, warm face of a friendly person in pink. Those ladies are the ones that make that first impression and are always there because they want to help others and make a contribution to society. Our next recipients are all incredibly giving hospital volunteers and represent hundreds of similar volunteers who quietly give their time year after year. They are some of the nicest and warmest people you will ever meet. Sandy McEwen has been a dedicated volunteer at Sebastian River Medical Center since 1982 and averages over 80 hours a month in volunteer time. Sandy actually buys for and manages the gift shop at Sebastian River and has been responsible for the donation of thousands of dollars to local charities like the Red Cross and local food banks. Sandy has done just about everything for SRMC, and everyone at the High Quality Medical Center greatly appreciates what Sandy has done for the community. Sandy is one of the most loyal volunteers and is a tremendous asset to the South County area. Nora Parker has been a part of the heart of Wusthof for 28 years as a volunteer. Nora has served as president of the Hospital Auxiliary and understands what a difference she can make in her role. One particular incident was where a lady was having a hard time getting a hospital pass to go upstairs. So Nora acted quickly, escorting the woman to her dying mother's side. That action allowed the lady to spend a few more precious minutes with her mother, who passed away soon thereafter. "I love helping people. It's a very rewarding thing to do," says Nora. Nora Yanis has been a much-loved volunteer at Holmes Regional Medical Center for more than 30 years. Nora has helped in so many different roles, including helping to admit people, the front desk, the maternity ward, and also the emergency room. For 15 years, her main role has been operating the gift shop, and at times has even dipped into her own pocket to help out a visitor short on cash. Nora has served as president of the Hospital Auxiliary and also volunteers at the Humane Society in Melbourne. Nora just likes helping all creatures, great and small. Nancy Brainerd started volunteering at Palm Bay Hospital when it opened in 1982 and is still there today, helping wherever she is needed. Friends would ask Nancy why she did not get a paying job instead of volunteering, but Nancy said, "They didn't understand the satisfaction that I get from giving my time to help. We're there to help the staff so they can focus on emergencies," said Nancy. Nancy also received a recognition award from the Board of County Commissioners for her work to create the Palm Bay Library over 27 years ago. "Volunteering is perfect for me," says Nancy, and Nancy is clearly perfect for Brevard County. Right after her husband died of cancer 17 years ago, Jerry Sikora found her second family while becoming a dedicated volunteer at Cape Canaveral Hospital. Right after the tragic loss of her husband, a wise friend led Jerry to volunteer at the community hospital. "That was the best thing I ever did," says Jerry. Jerry was such a great volunteer in the ER, doing anything that the nurses asked her to do, that the staff encouraged her to go back to school, where she earned her Certified Nurse's Assistant license at age 65. Most of the more than 150 friends that attended her 80th birthday were from the hospital. For gifts, she asked for supplies to send soldiers she calls her boys, serving in Afghanistan and Iraq. Jerry has turned her guest room at home into her boys' room, where she keeps all the supplies she gathers and sends to the troops. You see, Jerry wanted to help several of her friends who she had worked with in the ER who had been deployed overseas. That circle of friends grew into a large number that she now sends supplies to. Jerry Sikora is a true angel and is a friend to all she meets. Betty Ann Locke's only day off from volunteering is on Tuesdays. Betty was comforted greatly by warm, compassionate hospital volunteers during her many years in and out of hospitals with her sick husband. Then she lost her husband. The volunteers helped Betty Ann with her grief so much that she has been wanting to repay that love ever since, while volunteering at Wusthof, Melbourne. Betty also volunteers at SHINE, the Department of Elder Affairs, helps tourists find their way in Cape Canaveral at the Chamber of Commerce, and helps run the Cape Canaveral Air Force Station Museum. "I always try to help people feel at ease, especially when they come to the hospital," said Betty. Sandy McEwen, Nora Parker, Nora Yanis, Nancy Brainerd, Jerry Sikora, and Betty Ann Locke are 2010 Space Coast Humanitarian Hospital volunteers. In 1982, at the height of the siege of Beirut, Mother Teresa rescued 37 children trapped in a frontline hospital. Mother Teresa, famed humanitarian who won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1979, went on to seek adoption homes for many of the children so that they could be loved. Here in Brevard County, many young women who have given up their children for adoption call Rachel Fornes Mother. That is because Rachel Fornes has formed an organization called Home at Last, which is a non-profit adoption organization that places particular emphasis on helping the birth mothers cope with this very difficult decision to place their baby up for adoption and for offering guidance for their lives after birth. Over the past 19 years, Mother Rachel and her husband Al Neuwirth have set the ultimate example by adopting 6 children of their own, and it was this experience that led Rachel to form the organization Home at Last. When we adopted our first child, we were celebrating, but I could not stop thinking about the birth mother. Who's with her? Is she alone? And this is a great loss for her, were Rachel's thoughts. Home at Last, founded by Rachel, has had a profound effect on many young women's lives, helping them to deal with the adoption process. One young lady who placed her twins with the Agency for Adoption is now a successful